All right, so the next step is we need to take our tether wire, which is the white Cat 5 wires that you guys have on the table. Okay. And rather than undoing all the baling that's holding that together, you're going to want to free up about 2 feet of the cut end of that tether. We're going to want to take about 15 inches of that cover off the Cat 5 cable. All right, so using our C-perch rulers, we're going to need to measure back about 15. So what we're going to do is we're going to take either a pair of scissors or a pair of snips, and we're going to snip the cover off the end of that wire. Okay? Now we only need to snip about 1 inch. Okay? Because all we need is enough to be able to get a hold of one of these pairs of wires and pull it, and it's going to slit the side of this. And you're going to keep doing that. I'll let you now keep doing that all the way till you get to that mark. So the next step is we are going to work with now the blue, the green, and the orange twisted pairs. That would leave the brown pair as a pair that we don't use on the C-perch right now. Okay. So you can twirl it up and hold it off to the side, or you can actually cut it off. Because at this point there's really nothing that we have it set aside to use. Okay? The other 3 pairs, what we want to do is feed each of those 3 pairs through the holes that we made in the caps of our film canisters. Now when we put it through, we want to make sure that the way we're doing it puts the wire inside the cap when we're done. And then we want to put a knot in that wire about 2 inches up from the end.
From this end?
From the end that you cut, yep.
A loose knot?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that tight. What that does is if you pull on the motor assemblies later, you'll be pulling on that knot in the case and not against the soldering joints that we'll have inside there. Because when those break, they're hard to find. Got all your knots?
Yep.
All right, so now we're ready to strip the ends of each of those pairs of wires. So we're going to take the wire strippers and we're going to get ourselves a section of this. Go ahead and strip off about 1/4 inch of the covering. All right, and do that to all of your wire sets.
Okay.
Okay. If you cut it off by accident, it's not really a problem. What you'll want to do is cut the other matching from that pair to the same length and then restrip both. So that way you don't have one wire being much longer than the other on the same motor. But other than that, as you see, we have plenty of wire to work with, so it's not something we need to worry about. Now, once you're ready, remember we marked our positive terminals on our motors. Okay, so what we want to take is the solid wire, because there's always a solid and a stripe in each of these pairs. Take that solid wire and put it to the marked or positive terminal on our motor.
Okay.
You're just going to put it through and fold it over, and then we're going to solder it. And slowly exhale. Okay, so when you're done, you can make sure you have good joints by moving the wires and making sure that the joints don't move on the motor. In this case, they're all nice and firm, so we can go ahead and do the next set.
All right.
All right, so at this point, we have all of our motors ready to be put into our film canisters. So the next step for us is to wax. So we'll go ahead and get our equipment ready to wax, and then we'll go ahead and do that next. All right?
Okay.
Good.